What's going on, bro? Another week and all that good stuff, man. I cannot complain on this side of the East Coast that is Atlanta, because we're going to be talking about Atlanta today. But how you doing, man?
Man, I got no complaints over here. Working hard, hardly working, trying to do my thing, man. Trying not to get caught out here. You know how it is, man. Trying to stay black and alive as per usual. Raise these kids, do my do. You know what I mean? Everything is love. Can't be mad.
Man. Listen, man, we are just two brothers out here, just raising our families, living our dreams, fighting through exhaustion and all these kinds of things. But we here for another week, man. Another
That's
week
right. That's right.
Bad
That's right.
news, baby.
They said we never have a podcast. Y'all motherfuckers don't know what y'all talking about. Welcome to episode 37. Yes.
37. A week come from bad news. All right, I've got to give you guys the rundown. But first and foremost, we appreciate y'all tuning in and hanging out with us and all that kind of good stuff like that. And this particular week, we're going to talk about a variety of good things. We're going to talk a little Cardi B in terms of her current release. You know we got to get into what happened, what's going on, Saturday Night Live, all that kind of good stuff with that. We're going to talk a little season 2 of the show Atlanta. I live in Atlanta. I breathe Atlanta. Obviously, I love this particular thing here, so we're just going to keep it moving in terms of that. And then we're also going to talk a little bit more about guns and the godlessness between guns and such like that in terms of that. Just in general, we've had a lot of gun talk. There's been a lot of gun conversation. There's been marches. There's been all kinds of stuff. So this particular week, me and Yaza are going to dive a little bit more into that and how that relates to the spiritual aspects. And then we're going to cover current events. We're supposed to have Mel on as a guest. Another great show on deck. Let's get it.
It's a good one. It's a good one, y'all. All right, cool, man. First of all, I just want to say shout out R.I.P. Teddy Perkins.
See, you gotta watch this show to know what that's about, right?
For everything that he has done for the culture, everything that he symbolizes and represents, we just gotta blow one for the man Teddy Perkins and Benny Hope. Oh my God, man, what a crazy fucking show this is. I mean, I think we just got served a horror movie in 40 minutes. In episodes, is it only episode 6? Is it only?
I'm telling you, no, man. I don't know exactly where you're going with it too. I had Get Out flashbacks just as I was looking at this movie. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. Hold on, before we dive into it, because I could tell we both like this show.
Yes, felt it.
Before we do it, hold on. Let's give them a little bit, because there are some people who may not know what me and Yaze are talking about. Is season 2 of the show Atlanta, starring Donald Glover, who also serves as the writer, director. There's some other great people in the show. Brian Tyree Henry, Lakeith Stanfield, Zazie Beetz, different things like that. Atlanta's basically about two cousins that are navigating their way in the rap scene, trying to prove their lives to their family, and it just shows you Atlanta at all different angles that you didn't know anything about, things that are definitely way bigger than Buckhead, bigger than Lenox Mall. It just shows the culture and everything that's going on, and Donald Glover is putting his own special brand of wonderful on this particular show. All right, I'm a step back, my man Yaze. In terms of this, let's talk about this show. Like right now, we've had, let me see, 4 episodes. Alligator Man, which had Cat Williams in it,
right.
Sport and Waves,
yep.
Moneybag Shorty,
yep.
Barbershop with Bibby the Barber,
yep.
and then of course, and I guess it'd be 5, Teddy Perkins, which
okay, so we have to 5. Okay.
So it's been 5 episodes, and the next 2 episodes are called Champagne Poppy and Woods. But anyway, let's go.
So is that the only? Or how many episodes are we getting in this season? Is it only 8? Because last one was mad short.
Yeah, I think that, let's see, we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now, and there's 2 more. So from what I'm seeing, maybe 7.
See,
at least for what was online.
I gotta say this, man. I'm first of all, I'm offended by that raggedy ass Baker's Dozen shit. Nigga, give me a whole season, okay? Look,
I know, right?
Lando Calrissian motherfucking playing ass. You look at this nigga
they gotta sell it, bro. They gotta sell it to us. They gotta give it to us in small bites to have us doing exactly what we're doing right now. Just
right,
salivating,
nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Salivating at the mouth for more episodes.
7
man.
episodes. That's an EP, man. That ain't no damn album. Come on, bruh. That's tapas. That ain't no entree.
You know, it's a mixtape world, baby. It's a mixtape world right now.
So I'm simultaneously offended and also just hella impressed by the strategic marketing savvy of that particular move. But honestly, I mean, that was a really succinct summary of Atlanta. I feel like the show artistically is one of the most beautifully messy shows I've ever seen. It doesn't seem to really be concerned with a particular genre. I mean, it is ostensibly about a cousin and a rapper and their homie and their adventures, but it's also about, about a father trying to, a father and a semi-single mother trying to make some sort of nuclear family work. It's also a show about female empowerment and insecurity. It's also a show about, sort of just the weird eccentricities that black people know amongst ourselves, but don't really get reflected or shined on in the mainstream culture. I mean, it's just so much new. I think one of the best comparisons that I've heard made is that it's very David Lynchian, And also, I just gotta say, parenthetically, if y'all motherfuckers are listening to this podcast and don't know what Atlanta is, what? I mean,
yeah. What have you been doing with us for the last 36 episodes?
What intersection is that? What intersection in the demographic is that you listen to this shit and you ain't fucking with Atlanta?
You have to know what Atlanta is, because we've talked about Donald Glover.
Yeah,
before,
that'd be unbelievable.
We've never talked about the show Atlanta, so this is the first time we're gonna dive in.
That's true. So we gotta, since this is the first time we're talking about, let's go back to season 1 as well, which I feel like, I don't even know if there's going to be another season, but it seems like if there is a general sort of meta story, is that in season 1, everybody was dead broke and Paperboy was on the come up. So it was about Earn living a kind of this shitty life. He was a dropout from Yale, I guess, or Princeton or something like that.
Yeah,
something that they don't really explain. They don't really explain what happened.
No, they didn't really get into Earn's backstory. We just know that, he ended up in a storage unit and this is where we are.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? At some point he had sex with Zazie Beetz, and they had a daughter, and somehow they're still fucking, but he's also semi-homeless, and what I mean? Like, it's a whole lot of, it's a very relatable situation.
Very much so.
For a lot of young 20-something black men of a particular demographic, you know what I mean? Where it may be a little bit more common for you to have, I got a baby mama, I'm trying to, school didn't work out because I didn't take to authority. So, I mean, a very relatable character, I felt like, overall. But then you pair him with Paperboy, which is kind of this, on the outside, this over-the-top gangster rapper, self-aggrandizing, selfish, self-concerned, but you peel back the layer, peel back just a layer, and all of a sudden you realize he's like kind of this big teddy bear. He's got this sensitive soul. He feels insecure about the fact that Black Justin Bieber is getting more shine than him, and he can't understand why. It's like he genuinely is like, I'm doing this music to be loved, and y'all niggas like this dude who's shitting on y'all.
But I think his real issue is that it's definitely, of course, he wants to shine, he wants the attention, he wants the paper that comes with the success of being an artist. But I think the big thing as well with him, and this is just what I see, is that he knows that everything that he's talking about is real. He's actually living that life. Everything he's talking about is authentic. Like in the episode, I think in episode season 2, where he's in the studio with the little young rapper kid or whatever. And if you notice the rapper kid or whatever, he's saying these lyrics and stuff like that. Tell me he gonna go get this and smoke this, that. And then as soon as Paperboy came in there, he's like, nah, man, I don't really drink or smoke. And he looking at you like, but then when he got on that microphone, it turned into something else. Like, yeah, I'm going to drink. So the people get confused. That's from the second season, but it does echo something from the first season where he first meets the black Asian dude from the internet, the promoter, the internet guy,
guy. I can't remember his name. Zan. So he meets Zan, and that episode is very much what you're talking about, where this guy, Zan's philosophy is basically, you're exploiting your pain, and I'm exploiting your pain, You know what I'm saying? It's like, and we all getting money, bruh.
And we all getting money together, right? See, that kid had
bruh.
it figured it out. He came to him like, listen, this is the game. This is what I do. This is what you do. Yeah. We all gonna make it happen, baby. This is part of the ecosystem.
But then you see the problem. But then you see the problem with that philosophy, taken to its nth degree. When the little boy is out there delivering the pizza, getting robbed, and Zan is just sitting there with the phone, like, I know it's crazy out here, right, bruh? You know, it's like nigga.
It is the most offbeat show that I have ever loved in terms of
absolutely,
that.
Absolutely, because it's showing. It just dares to show you these really weird. It's not afraid to go there. But to your point again, so you're right. So the character of Paperboy is obsessed with authenticity. He's obsessed with everything he's doing as being real. But I mean, I actually question if that's even the intent of his character to some extent, because like they do a really good job of showing them in their not doing shit moments, right. So like 90% of the time when you see them, they're in the couch or just sitting around, you know what I'm saying, playing video games or whatnot. And I mean, like, although that is, truthfully speaking, very accurate bando behavior, that is basically what you do at the trap. I mean, I ain't gonna,
you do. I was gonna say, you play video games, you do whatever you do to make your money, then you come back to the trap.
Yeah, that's true. It's like
play Madden or pop a movie in or something like that. That's their lifestyle.
Exactly. But it's like when you see that and you think about the the vividness of gangster rap, or even what Paperboy is rhyming about, you know what I'm saying, like just the vividness of gangster rap, like, and you compare it to like the monotony and the boredom of what their lives are really like in between, like going somewhere and getting some chicken wings, you know what I'm saying, something like that. And I'm like, I think what's so great about Atlanta is that it's not glamorizing this shit at all. It does not make it seem like it's that interesting to be a rapper. It's just, it's a job. And
it's a job. Well, the thing I really like about the show is that I think over the years, Atlanta has kind of grown to be kind of really coming to its own as an entertainment mecca, as a location for current as well as future talent, as well as a place where people are now coming to film movies and do big scale productions. And especially with the success of Black Panther and everything being filmed here, it's just taking Atlanta to a whole new stratosphere, even bigger to the levels than it was at when things were with Outkast and LaFace and everything as well. But the thing about the show is that it's showing you the real Atlanta, real people going through real situations, but then it just throws the most curveball stuff at you. Like, I don't care about reality. I don't care about gravity. I don't care about rational thought. I don't even care about what's been done in the past. I'm going to put this invisible car into this particular episode, and I'm going to write it like it's a normal thing. Like this guy had, and to give the audience a quick context, and again, if you have not seen this, something is wrong with you. But anyway,
what the fuck?
There was an episode, or a piece of one, I should say, where a kid was known for having an invisible car. And so he's posing on IG and everything like that, like this is what's up. And then at some point, as the gentlemen were out and about, you saw him riding in this invisible car that actually hit people and everything like that. And you say to yourself, okay, is this real? What's going on? I ain't gonna lie, I just kept going, wait a minute.
No, for a minute, you like, they got invisible cars now? You know what I'm saying? They present everything. You know what you're getting at is that what we don't normally get to, we don't really get to see like seriousness and absurdity blended together.
With hood or urban elements and such like that, because it's always either one or the other. It's either really serious, we're in the hood, it's a struggle, it's things aren't good, shit is bad, or it's, hey, this is weird or offbeat. You're right, you never get to see the Twilight Zone mixed with
Twilight Zone. That's right, exactly right. That's exactly right. Like I mean, we've seen absurdity. Martin has gotten absurd. You've seen him delivering babies squirting out of people, girls' coochies and whatnot. You've seen absurd shit like that. But you've never seen that paired, like you said, with some like boys in the hood brutal. Like Atlanta has given us scenes like going to visit amigos in the woods, and these motherfuckers shooting a dude naked in the back. You know what I'm saying? Like we've seen them. They have executed at least 3-4 niggas on the show. You know what I'm saying? Just straight up, and they don't do it in such a way that makes the person who did it seem like, oh, he's a hero, or he's even a tough dude. It just seems like, again, with this sort of boredom and sort of ennui, like, well, gotta shoot this nigga. All right, you know what I'm saying?
Well, what I like about it is I think you were just touching on it too, is they're kind of normalizing the offbeat, normalizing, as you say, the absurdity. You know, in the episode with Cat Williams, we actually saw an alligator walk out the house. Like,
alligator man.
The cops rolling up to the house like, okay, does he really have an alligator? He's like, yeah. Everybody screams out, yeah, he really has an alligator. And it's funny because we've all lived in these environments where, I don't know if anybody had an alligator, I'm sure they did, but somebody always had something. You know,
a snake or some shit.
A big dog or a snake. Yeah, he really got a big snake, or he really got such and such. So it's just it's just funny to me that he's taken all of these different things that we've grown up with, all these different stereotypes, all these things that are actually true things that happen in the hood. And as you said, he has put this absurdity, this Twilight Zone thing on it, and spun these different stories that are fucking interesting. And we gotta get to, two things we gotta get to. We not only gotta get to this Teddy Perkins situation, but can we talk about the barbershop episode with Bibby?
Nigga, that was the next thing on my mind. I was like, we gotta talk about that shit. I mean,
that comedian, I do not know his name.
What's his name? Bibby?
Bibby was the barber's name, but there's a comedian, because I've seen him perform.
Oh, yeah, the comedian, the actor himself was just, was a tour de force, man.
He took over the whole episode.
Show. I was like, where his show at? I'm ready for his spinoff right now.
He took over the whole episode. I could have watched Bibby do that mess to him all day. How you gonna take this man to your house to cut his hair?
Oh, my God. No, I mean, first of all, to set it up, Bibby is a character that everybody has met in the hood. If you spend any time in the hood, he's incredibly talented. He's got a hustle for every hour of the day. For everything. Every hour of the day with a different hustle.
Even the toothpick was 56.
Oh my God, man. Finessing his ass off. And a complete disregard for anybody else's, you know what I'm saying, situation, as long as he getting his. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like 90% of the niggas I grew up with that nigga.
We're Bibby. We're Bibby. Oh, God. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Except for the talent part. You know what I mean? Except for the talent part. The problem is, that's really what separates it. And I felt like that was the interesting twist on this story for me, is because at the end, you know, after he takes him through all of this adventure, you know, and he's like, you forgot to pay me. He's like, pay you, man. I had a terrible day. And he's like, a terrible day? I took you
had a great day. I took you to miss some kids.
You welcome. You welcome.
He's like, you welcome.
Then we got something to eat. Then we hit the Asian lady from the back, and it's like, what the? How you gonna make this?
Because in his mind, it was just a regular day of adventure and activity. And even when he was rolling up to the shop, he was like, okay, I'm gonna take this to you right now. He's like, man, if you don't cut my hair,
if you don't cut my motherfucking hair. But and then at the end, when he walks in and he switches barbers, and he sits down, and the guy asks him, you know, 1, 2, or 3, which ain't nobody ever asked me that shit. But and he looks over. Then you see in that moment of clarity and realization, like, this finessing ass nigga is actually talented, and actually knows something that I need. He has something I need.
Yeah, that look you saw to him when he looked and said, damn, he actually cuts my hair right, and I gotta actually train this other dude in order to get my hair right. Damn it, was it worth being able to do? I had to go around the block, I had to do all this other stuff. Damn it, was it worth switching barbers? And what's sad is I could relate, because I didn't have barbers. It was late and doing all kinds of stuff, and I will switch barbers on you. I will leave. I'll go to another barber. I'll go to the barber that's sitting right next to you and act like it ain't happened, and still talk to you. Hey, how you doing, bro? How's the kids? How you doing? Now I'm gonna go over here to him because he was on time.
See,
I can't deal with that nonsense.
That's why I'm glad I don't have to worry about that shit, man. Because I would feel funny. I would feel like I'm locked in. I would feel like I was like, oh, nigga, I didn't pick this nigga. I got to deal with him forever now.
See, you and Treese follow that philosophy.
Yeah,
I will swap, even though I'm the worst person to say something. I've had the same barber for probably like 13, 14.
But you got a good one. But like, and also the thing is, the thing is though, even though you get a new barber, ain't no guarantee he ain't gonna be a finessing ass nigga too. So then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, like it's
here's my story, and I'm part of the problem. The barber I've had for 13 to 14 years, he's not even that great in terms of what he does, because he cuts Treasy's hair too. He's like an okay cut. He gets you a decent cut or whatever. Okay. But on the flip side, he has other services that he provides that are very much detrimental to how I create.
I see. I see.
So I was in a bit of a conundrum for a while. Like, damn, his haircuts are okay, but then Trees presented another situation, and this is how gangster is. I'm gonna wrap this up real fast right now.
Right.
Trees found one of her old barbers that takes appointments. They got a new shop and everything like that, and it's closer to my house. So we started going there, I want to say about maybe 4 or 5 months ago, whatever. So I have a new barber over there who cuts my hair. My barber that's been cutting my hair for 13 to 14 years no longer cuts my hair. Does not cut my hair. However, I still see him every week for his special services. With my haircut from the other guy.
I think that's called ghosting, and I think we're gonna add. I think we can add the modifier green ghosting, because I smell where you coming from, homie. I was actually gonna say, interestingly enough, tangentially, completely unrelated to whatever situation you involved in, because I know your situation is legally different.
You know it,
but out here, I used to, before it was legal, I used to have a weed dealer out here. And it was always funny style, you know, saying you always had, it was a crapshoot with weed dealers, because some of them, especially the ones that gave you delivery, which was like a very, very premium service at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like the ones that would come to your house, whatever. You know, because they want to come over and hang. Sometimes it'd be like, you know, it's like, I'm one of them dudes that if I call an Uber, I want you to be like a taxi driver. I just want to get in the motherfucker.
I just want to do my transaction and go my way.
I'm giving you money so I could get somewhere, not to make a friend. I don't want to make a friend.
I do not want to have conversation with you.
Be professional,
I swear to God.
Just shut up.
I need my Uber drivers. Ask me if I'm cool. Ask me if I'm good. Hit the gas and roll.
But
I'm with you.
I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck what music it is. Nothing. I just want to go. Right?
I'm with you.
Same thing with my drug dealer, okay? With my pharmacist. This when my drug dealer comes through, I don't want to know about the kids. I don't want to go to the party. I don't have any interest in your life or anything about you. I just want to know what varieties of marijuana that you have to sell to me. What kush did you have
on deck? What kush did you have on deck? Thank you very much.
And you know, and now that it's legal, praise Jah. I go to the pharmacy, you know, and they have all the nice young ladies who work behind the glass case and the bud tenders, as they call them, and they're lovely, you know. And at first it was so wonderful, because I would just give them the money and they would give me the thing and I would leave and it'd be beautiful. And now I'm finding it's the same old problem. I think I just don't like people, because I get in the mug and now it's like they want to ask me about my family, you know, what's going on with the kids.
It's a family. It's a sativa indica hybrid family.
Don't understand why people don't
and on
respect
top of that,
the introverts.
You have to understand, if they work at that type of place, they're probably stoned, so they're probably chatty and munchy and sociable. Right. You know,
it's a problem.
In that zone. It is a problem.
You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine going to Walmart or fucking CVS and like everybody there was like on drugs?
Just starts fucking talking to you at a particular point in time.
Like, you can't never find.
How are you?
You can't find no blue shirts at Best Buy already. Them niggas was high. I mean, I'm higher than they already are. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! Nah, man, fuck that shit. Anyway, okay.
All right, Teddy Perkins. Teddy Perkins. So we can go ahead, because I have one last thing I want to wrap up on this as well. Let's do Teddy Perkins, and what we're talking about with Teddy Perkins is the most current episode where what's the gentleman's name? I always just say the guy from Get Out.
Lakeith.
I forgot.
Lakeith
Lakeith guy. Yeah, Lakeith Stanfield. He's looking for I just saw an ad in the paper or some periodical about a free piano that had like colorful keys and stuff, and so he goes to the guy's house to go retrieve such piano, because it was supposed to be for free, and ends up getting into a lot more than what he bargained for. That whole episode, I got to go back and watch it again.
I mean,
there's so many different theories. I
watched it 3 times. I've watched it 3 times already with various people, and it reads like a movie. You know, it reads very cinematic. So every time you watch it, there's so much embedded in the scene. I mean, just in the actual art direction of each scene. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Each scene is like there's so many different details, and the way that Teddy appears, even in the beginning when he first is standing there, you know, he just sort of materializes out of the dust of this huge mansion, which is a gorgeous mansion. And also, I think part of the charm and the appeal of Atlanta is that it does find these amazing set pieces. You know, these places that you would never go. You know,
and these are beautiful
even
places
if it's the hood.
that are around.
It's
Like there's been tons of places where I said, "Oh, I've been there. I know that. That's a beautiful spot."
Yeah, and I feel like Atlanta has not really gotten that treatment up until now. You know, like we've seen New York a million different ways, you know, in various decades with various skylines. We've seen LA more times than we even know, because they shoot so many different. They used to shoot so many different places, as you know, in LA, and then pass them all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we've seen cities photographed a lot. Vancouver, you know, we've seen cities photographed a lot. We haven't seen Atlanta photographed extensively like this before. So anyways, this is in this beautiful mansion. I don't know where it is.
It's probably in Buckhead somewhere.
Right, but it's exactly. So it's lush. It already has this evocative Gothic atmosphere with the dust in the air and the lights and the chiaroscuro and shit.
Very
and I'm
eccentric,
like,
very
right,
money.
Very money, very dang, very old, very Gothic. And like, as soon as you walk in there, every nigga instinct in your body goes like, nope, this ain't
exactly. I'm yelling at the TV. Oh hell no, hell no. I'm outside. Good. Okay, I'm gonna wait for you out here.
Hey, look, where the garage at? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wait. I'm pulling the truck around.
Just exactly. Hey, I've got the truck. Let me know when you're ready.
So it's like, so that being said, it is, you know, it really is emblematic of the character that Lakeith is playing, and that he's kind of this, I don't know if he's damaged or autistic or, you know, always high. But whatever he is, he's the spacey guy in the group, right?
Yeah, he is.
And at the core of this spaciness, though, does seem to be like this tenderness, this really, you know, if in a way it's kind of like,
there's an innocence there.
In a way, it's kind of a trinity in that, you know, it's a what you got is the main character played by Donald Glover, Earn, is sort of the ego, and then you got the id, which is Paperboy, you know, the urge to just do shit and fucking drink and have a good time. And then Lakeith, I feel like, is the superego, in that he is this, you know, sort of uber reflective. He's looking for deeper meaning and shit everywhere, and he's trying to reconcile shit everywhere. You know, like he's the guy that when Earn needs money is like, you know, I can get you more money, and you know, through this elaborate.
He's the voice of reason within the crew. Definitely so. They've painted him as kind of the conscience of different things. He always kind of tends to remind them of different things at critical moments. It's always at a critical moment or a moment where things are really at a certain level where he'll sit back and kind of provide that clarity.
Well, it's a funny thing because we've never seen a magical Negro be magical for other Negroes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's usually for somebody else.
We never seen Bagger Vance do that for some bruhs. You know what I'm saying? And so Lakeith is
that's an excellent point there, bro.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So now we getting to see this application of this sort of magical Negro trope to a group of black men. And so, but anyways, it's emblematic of his character that he even stays in this spooky ass house, because, you know, they make it very clear when he tells the other people, when he tells Paperboy and them, they're like, get the fuck out of there. You crazy? You trying to die, nigga? Get the fuck out of there.
Everybody's telling him, yo, you need to get out of there, man.
Yeah,
just
nobody.
leave.
Yeah, there's no ambiguity.
And he's
in the
like,
message.
yo, I need this piano. That piano is free too. He's like, yo, I gotta have it.
With the colored keys, you know, with the colored keys.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit did look hot as hell, though.
It was dope. It was dope. I mean, but I was like, but even I was looking at it, I was like, look, them niggas, you could just draw some, you could color them keys. You can color some keys if you know, if you really gotta have it. But anyway, so the only, what I'm saying is that only he would stay. You know, like only his character would stay. So that's why it's his story. So he stays because he's always in search of vibes. He's always in search of this kind of intensity. And Teddy Perkins has that. And I gotta say, the show did a really great job of misleading me, because I'm pretty savvy when it comes to plot twists, but I really felt like what they were asking me to do in the first act of the first and second act of the story was to empathize with Teddy Perkins as a tragic hero who was really Benny Hope, right? I felt like that's what they had. He was really Benny Hope, and then he had gotten vertigo or whatever. He's a kind of an analogy for Michael Jackson, and so here, but instead of Michael Jackson, what Michael Jackson did, he retreated and completely became private, which I guess Michael did to some extent, and that's what I felt like they were asking us to feel, and I was feeling that, and it was like, okay, then they were adding in the layers of the tortured childhood with the abusive father,
with the father beating him every time they tried to play it, but when they played piano incorrectly or anything like that, right?
So they're stacking these multiple layers of storytelling, all kind of pointing back to Michael Jackson and or as he puts it, like all the great fathers. You know what I'm saying? Serena Williams' fathers,
all the great dads,
all the great dads. You know, was whooping their kids' ass. Anyway, so he's building these layers up, and then he makes this really deft twist at the end through the lens of horror to be like, oh no, nigga, there is a Benny Hope. And he's in
because you see the because he walks up to the door, am I gonna get this piano, get some water, and then he's like, and he doesn't see anyone in the chair. Yeah. So I think that they're trying to mislead us into saying, oh, okay, this guy's playing games with us. And then, as you said at the end, oh, wait a minute, here he goes in the basement there. And there's this other gentleman there.
And shit.
He's like, what's going on? He's telling him, get the gun, and shoot the guy. And of course, he's like, at that point, I think that was his flashpoint. Like, okay, you're talking about guns and killing people. I got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
But then as soon as he finally makes the decision to finally exit, now look at the extremity. Look what it took for him to finally go, okay, I'm going to leave. Like, dude, you wasn't ready to leave like 5-10 minutes. When he pulled out the ostrich egg, right. I think I would have been ghost. I'd have been like, okay, I was like, okay, that's a little bit too much eccentricity for me.
Something or whatever. That should be nasty.
It was like, this dude is digging into a dinosaur egg, basically, putting it in and just digging the food. I was like, okay, see. And he's still sitting there like, yeah, man, I really want this piano. I was like, fuck that. It's time to get out of here. I can't do it. I couldn't do it. This dude came out the shadows looking like the Saw doll, and I couldn't do it, man. This dude was bugging. I did not understand how in the hell he had the resilience to stay in that house that long. It wasn't until the gun was brought up where he finally was heading to the front door, and then it got real.
I don't even think he was bugging out from seeing Benny Hope it wasn't until the other dude pulled a gun on him, right?
Oh yeah, then at that point, that's when it really got.
That's when he was like, oh shit, because up until that point, he was still like, well, let me go get the piano first. And then
he was still trying to focus on it, but he was still kind of starting to edge out the door.
Yeah, he was like, I'm ready to go, but I'm not tripping. I'm just ready to go. You know what I mean? And then Teddy Perkins pulls the gun on him, and he's like, I've chose you to be my sacrifice, and all this kind of crazy shit, this insane Hannibal Lecter shit. And they have a beautiful dialogue. I felt like it was an incredibly important dialogue, because essentially, and what it did was it helped. It was like everything we wanted to say to Michael Jackson, everything we didn't deal with in terms of his death, which I feel like is something we really never unpacked. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of shit about his life. We just go like, fuck it, he dead. Because
he made so much great music, and he did so much, and you get to the point where it's almost like if you start to do an autopsy on his life, it's almost certainly going to change your perspective of them. As I think you've said many times, you really don't want to know your heroes, but at the same time, you do want to know your heroes.
Well, but Michael, I feel like it was what's worse about it is that is that he made so much great music. I feel like that really is a negative. That's a reflection more on us, because what we're saying is that if you're going to abuse a child in public, right? Because Jackson 5 came out when he was a kid, So Joe Jackson was whooping his ass the whole time. We was watching.
That means that he was beating their ass at maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. Just
right.
Whooping
The whole time we was watching them on TV doing spins and shit. They was going home getting their asses kicked. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what was going on.
So like, and what we're saying as a society, as a culture, as black people, you know, as a subcommunity, as a community, a village is like, all right, well, if you're gonna abuse your kids, make sure they can sing and dance.
Yeah, if in the end it's profitable, if in the end they're successful,
if it makes me feel good, if at the end it entertains me, if it takes my mind off my troubles, then fuck them kids. I mean,
let's beating them into success, which I've always said that's kind of fucked up.
That's kind of fucked up. I mean, like, and I don't feel like I feel like that's Michael Jackson died right before, you know, the internet metastasized in the way that it has now, that, you know, motherfuckers is just getting the fuck out of there. People before cancellation culture, you know, before that shit. So he kind of like got grandfathered out in that we just don't address him like that. But there's a lot to address, and he was the original of that shit. You know, he was the original talent from Pain's story for us. You know what I mean? Like, he was the ultimate version of that, because he butchered his face. You know, he sold all these millions of records. He was never happy. He never felt like he was doing enough.
Himself. Yeah, he really isolated himself, and really kind of, you could tell that a lot of the things that happened with him in his childhood manifested in his actions as an adult. And I think that just to tie season 2 up real quick too, Michael's childhood was taken from him, which goes along with the various themes of robbing season. Within each particular episode in this particular series of Atlanta, the theme of it is robbing season. There's something that is being taken or robbed, or something that they can't get to. Most of the time, it's usually taken from them. In this particular episode, obviously, the piano for that particular character was at the center, and he was robbed of his opportunity to get something that was supposed to be free. But in essence, of course, there was a robbery of childhood between the two characters, or one character, depending on who you ask, in terms of that, and all that came with it. And in previous episodes where Ern was trying to do something and he couldn't do that. So the whole theme of this particular season is about, it's a season, I think it's a bit of a double message there. It's the season of robbery in terms of, I think it's close to the holidays, or just a time period where people are out and about and more active in terms of robbing and taking things. But also in general, it's about being robbed of your dreams, robbed of different items and things that you want. And each episode weaves that theme into it. And it's fun to sit back and pay attention to see how that's going to manifest within each episode. So to tie it up in a I think that Atlanta is one of the most groundbreaking shows written by and in the and displaying of the black culture, I think, that we've seen in a very, very long time. I really think that if he continues to build on this show, it's just something already special. And I think there's some of the best writing. That episode with Teddy Perkins, that's some of the best writing I've seen on a show with that in a long time. That dude, Donald Glover, and his team is really talented. So if you have not seen Atlanta season 2 or season 1, take time to go check it out. It is a very, very, very good show. It is not what you expect. I promise you this. It is more than what you're going to expect. It is so offbeat. It is ridiculous. So anyway, it is a good show. Check it out.
Yeah, and again, one more time, if you listening to this podcast and have not seen Atlanta, what the fuck? What the hell? How did that happen? How did you hear about us?
Your life?
Seriously, like, your life? Yeah, no, I mean, seriously, email us or something. Or leave us or tweet at us or Instagram us. I'm really curious if you have not seen Atlanta but you listen to this podcast. I'm just desperate to know who you are as a human being.
Absolutely. You know, we got to dive into some Cardi B.
We do. I don't know about Mel is supposed to be joining us. I'm not sure where she is. Let me go see where she is right quick, and also refresh my wine, and we'll get into it. One sec.
All good. I'm here.
All right,
cool. I'll go ahead and set it up. All right. Well, first of all, welcome, Mel, to the show. Now, Yaze, do you want to introduce your wife to our audience here?
I think have you been on the show before? I can't remember.
She came on with the wives with the woke with bad news segment. We have not seen Mel since.
We did it kind of a joint thing, but I haven't necessarily guested on we come from bad news.
No,
Yeah.
you have not. So we must welcome her to the show. Come on, this is what we do.
Yeah, so welcome to the show, honey.
Thanks.
Yeah, and because we are all one big happy family here. I mean, we're literally sitting on the couch right now with our 3-year-old between us. This little niglet was actually pointing at me to leave him alone so he could.
Yeah, we were just chilling in the bed, and and Ellison just put his finger like, "Go back from whence you came."
That's right.
So he just kept pointing and gesturing. So yes, are you telling me to leave? And
That's right. Get out of here. Can't you see? I need to get dressed.
Ungrateful niglet.
This bed is full.
Ingrateful niglet.
Give me my space right now.
bed is
Welcome Mel to the show and welcome L to the show. We're gonna go ahead and get into a topic that Mel knows a little something about. We're gonna talk about the latest release from Cardi B, the new it girl in the hip hop entertainment pop culture world right now. Her album came out this particular week. Invasion of Privacy. of Privacy.
Naughty.
Yeah, I'm starting trouble tonight. Invasion of Privacy is out. From what I'm hearing, it's doing pretty well. I think in the first 2 to 3 days, it's already gold. Of course, in the streaming world that we live in right now, you know, if you have a hit single, you can definitely get a lot of views, a lot of hits. She was on Saturday Night Live, reviewed her pregnancy, all these things. Me and Yaze briefly talked about the album. I had a chance to listen to it. I have some thoughts. Since we are gentlemen on this particular show, and you have talked about this before, we're going to let Mel kick it off with this.
You heard us smelly Negroes talking up.
That's right. And so what do you think about if I don't know if you've heard it, or what do you think about the rollout? What do you think about her place in the culture? All these things. Talk to me, Mel. What's happening?
I love Cardi B. I love Cardi B. And what I really love is how she has played the last 6 months to a year since Bodak Yellow came out. This is why I have respect for her. This is why I think she has the success that she has. And this is why I'm not worried about her. And to me, it's not even about the musical quality, like the musicianship of the music, because I feel like for the most part we don't hold pop stars of any genre at this point, because every genre of music now has a pop segment to it to this standard. So basically I like how she just, anywhere they said, Cardi, you want to perform, she basically was like yes. She would get on a plane, she would go for like a year. You know, you could see it on her Instagram. She would do a show, get on a plane, go somewhere else. And she just worked hard. Like, it's not easy to travel all over crisscross and do this interview and do this. The level of stamina and professionalism to go in and do your job and get out.
No, she's definitely on her hustle. I respect
it. So then there was so much hype with what this album could be, but then with all the drama, like, she started to go south. It was like the drama with, did Offset have some naked girl or whatever? Did he cheat? And I thought, here she go, getting caught up. It's like, okay, you work at the strip club and you know there's drama. Either you go in, you do your dance, you make your money and you go, or you get caught up in the drama. And I was like, she's about to go down if she keeps responding to every Tom, Dick, and Jane who want to say something. But then she put out her one thing and then she went quiet. And for me, I don't like super stalk her or anything like that, but I felt like she laid low and then came out with a bang with the album. I love the album. I thought the opening track, the production was great. She has a good flow. It's very listenable. It's trappish enough. You know, it's great for getting ready to go out to the club. She still seems like a very genuine person. She's not rapping no crazy stuff that she clearly has not lived. It's still, to me, very much what I expect from her. It hit the spot that she had opened up for herself with Bodak Yellow. I think it stands up in terms of listenability and the production of that track. Because when you hear that and you go back to some of her older stuff, you're like, I don't want to hear that. This I want to hear. And now she's pregnant or whatever. Congratulations. Like, girl, you just worked hard. She basically did the same thing that, like, Beyonce would do. Not at any near level of the quality, but where Beyonce will work hard for a year and a half, 2 years, have her video album, do the tour, make the movie, and then she might dip out, have a baby, take her time, and then come back. And I think if there was any other time, if you were going to plan a pregnancy right before your album drops, might not be bad. Just see how it racks up. She has her family. She has support. She know how to work hard and discipline her time. I'm happy for her. I'm like, okay. I mean, this is why I feel like regular women are inspired by her. She's not doing nothing fancy. She doesn't do anything that seems like, in my life, I couldn't achieve that same level of what I think is really the key for anyone who's really successful, discipline.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's why, I mean, is it anything close to like a miseducation of, you know what I mean? All that, no, it would never was, never will be. I don't even like consider that being in the same realm of my brain. But for what she's doing, I'm like, dope. And it makes me be like, okay, Nikki, where's your album at? Perfect time. It's not a rivalry, but let's bring it. Let's bring it.
You did not. You did not just say,
well,
Nikki, where's your album? At the bottom of your statement about Cardi. Ooh, go ahead, finish up. Ooh, you better finish up. Finish up.
No, I mean, to me, I literally, I don't know if there's beef. Why would there be? But it had been a void. So to me, I feel like Nikki put out anything is gonna be dope. We love you, and finally, there's something to talk about in terms of the conversation. I feel like if Nikki had dropped the album and there was nothing else, it'd be like, oh, cool, Nikki did another good album, dope. But when there's someone else, a new artist, still up on the come up, it doesn't even have to be about stressing the drama part, but why not have 2 albums to listen to? And you know she's having a baby and she's gonna be chilling. Now's your time. Like, there's room for everybody to make money. We can pretend it's a rivalry, but it's like, girl, it's hot right now. She opened it up. Now it's your turn. Do your thing, and then she come back. I mean, I just feel like this really is about sisterhood. It's like, I feel like this has opened up an avenue, and as opposed to letting another new chick come up, Nikki needs to. I mean, it's been years. I don't know nothing about music as business.
No, you're good.
You know what I mean? I feel like this.
But you are a consumer of music and culture, and so your opinion is very much valued and listened to. Okay, I got you, and I'm with you on some areas, and I think I put it on my little rant a little bit earlier on the social media stuff. I love the human part in terms of that. You know, like I said, I love the fact that she has worked to get where she's gotten to. I do respect that. I do see the amount of focus that she had in terms of trying to put out a project. I also applaud her label, Atlantic, who for really rolling out an extremely well executed marketing plan for her in every sense. Everything that you could have done the way you needed to roll an artist out, this is a textbook way in which you do it. They surrounded her with very good producers. They made sure that her sound was crafted similar to Bodak Yellow. They made sure that the songs were kind of weaved into the themes that are her current life in real time, from your Be Carefuls to Live Your Best Life to Drip to all these things. Yes, I listened to the album. All these things definitely were very relevant to who she is, and the rollout was amazing. And I am happy for anyone, artist, male or female, who is able to come into an industry and to be able to make yourself some money and to be able to make your mark. I'm good with that. That aspect of it, I'm good with it. But my other aspect, or the other side of the coin for me when it comes to Cardi, is that I feel as though she has lowered the bar for artistry within the game a significant degree. Sorry. And when you said Nikki, that's when I said, "Oh, I love you." No. And this is, and I want to be fair. And in fact, I'm going to say this before I dive into what I'm going to say. I end up having this level of vitriol towards any artist, male or female, who brings out what I feel, to be manufactured popular garbage that's sold to me as something different. I had the same problem with OT Genesis, and love Shaw and them to death, and when he brought that song out, Coco and all that stuff, and it was popular and it sold a gazillion million records, and it was extreme. The Warriors were on a plane going, I'm in love with the Coco, and all popular culture was going, I'm in love with the Coco, and I was and I had to be sitting around cringing my ass off going, oh God, this is so embarrassing right now. Why are the Golden State Warriors singing I'm in love with the Coco? Do you realize that he's talking about cocaine? Do you realize that this is not, and at the time period where the song came out, there was a lot of shootings and stuff going on of black men, not like there isn't now, but it was even hotter during that time period. So this just wasn't the imagery or the time or the song. And though for Cardi, and like I said, I said that to say, because again, I don't want to turn it into a gender thing like, oh, you're coming after women. No, I have the same cringy feeling about Young Thug and many others. So I just want to be clear that it's not a gender thing for me. I'm in it for the music. I'm in it for the artistry. I'm in it for the innovation. So I just want to be clear. But with Cardi, I feel as though when you have something like this, where you have a very minimally talented person who is a product of the machine, because that's what Cardi is. She is a product of the machine. Make no mistake. All the songs that Cardi had, they could have given to any other artist, and they would have done the exact same thing, and they could have made the exact same narrative. So she's a product of the machine, just like there are dudes that are product of the machine, but she is. But my issue with Cardi overall is that when you have a girl, and I'm going to use her because I have like a Rhapsody, which both of you are probably familiar with her, I'm sure. Very, very talented, extremely lyrically, can sing, total package, has substance to her words. Yeah, she had a decent rollout. She wasn't on Saturday Night Live, but it's artists similar to a Rhapsody or people who are lyrically talented that will get a little bit of shine and mostly kind of overlooked. You don't have their moment, but then will blow up Cardi to this big level. And again, it's not Cardi's fault. It's not artists like Cardi's fault. They're just doing what they got to do to make their money, to make their mark. But it's that same game that I've never been a fan of the really talented people who are really saying something and I really want to hear, don't get as much of the shine as the stripper bullshit that's out there. And so what Cardi has done, and to me, she is low at that bar, because it doesn't go up from here, ladies and gentlemen. No one says, nah, son, I'm going to be a stripper, but I'm going to be more lyrically talented than Cardi. Nope, it's going to go down. Next, we're going to have escorts. I'm
sorry I missed so much of this conversation.
Bellmen are going to be getting into the game. We're going to have butlers doing it now. The bar for this shit is going to go down. But
can I get your back? Because I'm on your side on this one. I am a converted Cardi fan. I won't say I didn't like
now,
Cardi.
Hold on. Before you dive, though, now, you did miss a piece of it. I did say, and I just want to say it real quick, I'm a fan of what she's done in terms of hustling and get what she had to get to.
Yeah,
that I
cool.
love.
I get it.
But I'm all about the music. But go.
I get it. I'm only going to discuss it in terms of the music, not even the fact that she's a boss bitch or whatever that shit, whatever. Because that's an argument that a lot of people bring into it. Like, well, so and so sold more records. So what? Milli Vanilli sold a lot of records. Doesn't make it good. Right?
I'm just talking about music. Go.
Yeah. The thing is that Cardi B is very talented. She has a very distinctive tone to her voice, and even though she's been presented to us with a very familiar and of the moment kind of rap style, the
bitches and hoes, your bitches and hoes, your niggas, your bitches and hoes, your bitches and hoes.
But you're making a very common conflation, like, which is that complexity equals communication. Like, I listened to a Rhapsody, and I'm one of the weird dudes that didn't really like. I don't like Rhapsody that much. I don't like Dave East that much. You know what I mean? Like, I was not a big Nas fan. Okay, I'm talking about some like hot take shit. You know what I mean? No, I'm serious.
Whoa. No, I actually didn't listen to a lot.
Yeah, I was not like. Yeah, I wasn't. Those weren't the artists that necessarily spoke the most deeply to me. Tribe Called Quest, even though Q-Tip could get really, abstract in terms of the imagery and whatnot, his rhyme styles and patterns were usually very simple. I agree. When I listen to Cardi, first of all, I'm not holding her to a standard that I'm not holding Nicki to, right? Nicki voice.
Fair enough.
Nicki voice to me sound like, if Nicki voice to me is irritates me. It's in a register that irritates me. Most of the time, very nasal. I don't like
very
it.
Cartoonish, very cartoonish.
Cardi's voice I like because it has some of that. It has some kind of a whiskey.
I like Cardi's voice better than Nicki's.
It's got but
this is the thing.
It's got a huskiness to it. I like.
I like Nicki. I put it in quotes just because I will never put her name into my Spotify and just let it play. I knew some of the songs. I was happy for her success.
Sure.
She filled a void. I'm like, go girl, do your thing. And that's why I feel like in terms of the whole Cardi thing, whether there's really beef or not, it's just stupid because there's two women, so they just want to pit two women against each other.
I totally agree.
They literally could be BFFs, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and whenever I talk about them, it's always in the form of music. It's never that
making
beef
similar
shit.
Popular rap music, and they're women, and they're sexualized and aggressive in the genre of it. Okay. What I think why Cardi isn't really just a product of the machine, I think she's more, and this is basically any artist who becomes this successful, this quote unquote, in a short amount of time. It is the timing. It is what does the culture want, because she's not ever going to be the best lyricist, the best rapper, the best female MC. We have
I'm not
those.
expecting that.
We have those women. So what are we really holding her against? Basically only in the realm of pop. She came in, she kicked the door down, and she's stomping right through.
Yep.
With her bloody shoes. I mean, if people all over are singing the hook, you fucking did it, girl.
Yeah,
and there's basically there's no qualifier. There's no qualifier because she doesn't have to do any more than that. Like, she's not claiming to be this deep thoughtful person. She's literally out here. I used to strip, but I always wanted to rap. And on the record, she says she's been doing it since 2008. So that's what I'm saying. There are no overnight successes. Even if her flow is trash, she worked hard. But that's my thing. So that they can say
her flow is not trash though.
I agree, it's not.
Trash.
And are the producers heavy-handed? Probably. But if she didn't have some base level of craft, she couldn't rise to the occasion. That's what I mean about 10, however many shows and zipping and doing here and that. You have to be ready for when the label or whoever says, "Hey, we can help you." I want to say
two things.
Before you jump in there, I think that you two are confusing talent with charisma. She's extremely charismatic.
No.
But I just think that I ain't saying she's talentless. I just don't think it's at the level.
No, it's not. She is charismatic. She is wildly.
Charisma gives you stamina, but talent does.
Let me say this: is that two things? One, two things. You can only examine music in the context of what else is coming out. And the hottest male rapper right now is Tekashi 6ix9ine. This fucking rainbow haired.
I can't stand his ass either.
I know, but that's because we old. You know,
just to be fair.
I'm just saying that's because we old. I mean, I don't like mumble. Right. I don't like mumble rap. I'm not a huge. I like Migos.
I'm not a big fan of either.
Migos is okay. Migos is as far as I go.
Tracks.
Really,
I know what I was going to say. Sorry, I realized my final point. Why I think she's successful, and I think just what the zeitgeist and culture is happening right now, whether it's call-out culture and all that, it's about authenticity. Do we believe that you are who you say, who you are portraying yourself to be?
I think she's authentic.
And I don't think she's
But that goes to charisma. Yeah.
But so whether it's an actor or your social media, this or whatever, we're checking everything. And so what I think we're all responding to right now in all art forms really is that feeling of authenticity, like
not
we know
me.
her and we know people like her.
But
that's what I
hear what you're.
No, I don't think she's fake. I don't think she's fake. I do think she's 100% herself.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the Butler won't just be able to do it. That's why I don't think the bar has been lowered that much. Where unless. Because then, if
let me get my point out.
Bartender MC is coming up. I'm telling you.
Let me get my point out.
It's going to be a bartender called Cocktail MC.
A lot about it. All I'm saying is that you got to examine the music in the context of when it came out. And right now, that is what music sounds like. It's repetitious. It's trap music. That's the genre. If you don't like that, then all we could do is, make a time machine, right? That's the only way to fix that problem. So she is firmly in the genre. You know what I'm saying?
She's now. She's today. Yes.
Right. The second thing is that her cadence, her flow, obviously I'm not in the studio. I don't know how many times she's punched in to make these raps sound the way they sound. But everyone is doing that, right? What I'm saying is that the end result of it is that she's on beat, she's riding the beat, she's doing she's doing shit that we would have considered tricky back in the day, but now everybody's doing it, so we consider it table stakes. But all that triplet, like that shit that we would have considered tricky back in the day, but now everyone does it, but she's doing it competently. There's a lot of people that aren't doing it competently. So my analogy for her is she's like an Aaliyah. Like Aaliyah couldn't sing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like that's it. That was
as a vocalist.
That was
she
max.
Could carry a note.
She could carry a note, right?
That's what I'm saying.
She's very pretty and very nice.
And that Cardi, and what I'm saying is that Cardi can carry a beat. That's all she has to be able to do. Is that she has to be able to carry the beat, and she can carry the beat because a lot of people can't carry the beat. Is Nicki Minaj a more technically gifted and nuanced rapper?
Yes. Well, of course.
Of fucking course.
It goes without saying.
Yeah, that's not even a conversation.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean.
But there's room is what I'm saying. Aaliyah doesn't, that there's an Aaliyah doesn't mean that you can't have a Whitney Houston. You don't have to, they don't have to, you know what I'm saying? They can't.
There was a void. What would have been the number one song last summer?
Shit.
Literally can hear number crickets on our side.
Music, maybe one dance, or maybe that was the summer before.
But then let me also just do that last point you also said in terms of lowering the bar. The thing is that Cardi's not lowering the bar, right?
Oh no, she's not alone. She's had all kinds of male counterparts that have helped her off along the way. Yeah, trust me, it's not just her.
No, it's not just her. And the fact is that in a way, technology has lowered the bar. You know what I mean? Like from the time that when we first, we're talking like old fuckers now, but when we got
the whole thing's been lowered.
The whole thing been lowered when we first came into the music business.
Well, she's not helping. Damn it!
I'm just saying, man. You can't get mad at Cardi because all these shits.
I ain't mad at her. I'm just mad at this whole generation of microwave.
I get that way. I get that. No, I feel you.
She's just a part. She's a part of it. She's a part of it. That's all.
She is. No, she is a part of it. But I honestly, all I can do is I listen to the record. You know what I'm saying? I nod my head all the way through. What she's talking about is interesting. I like that she was an ex-stripper. I like that she is of this new class of shamelessness, this shameless femininity, feminism, where she's just like, I don't know what wave we on, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 8th wave feminine. I don't know, but she's like, she's just
strong.
Like nothing fake on me but the boobs, and I'm like, for me that sounds like poetry. I don't like that. Sounds like that shit just sums it up. I feel like that sums it up. I mean, did she write that? I don't know, but
or like what's the name of the song? Get Up 10. It's like, okay, when Denzel said it, we was like, oh my god, Denzel the Sage. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's cool, right? Cool, but that's not like he the first nigga to say that.
Okay, or also,
and it's not like, okay, we're all applying it, so why are we gonna knock her?
Yeah,
on the other song, it was like I put my hand up on my hip and we dip, and then she had some bullshit like nursery rhyme on a track on the new album as well. And of course, there's a moment where I'm like, that is really unfortunate. But you know what? Like, I'm not in the studio into the wee hours in the morning trying to get any tracks right. So
I did listen. And like I said, to be fair, I did listen to the album, and I could pick up like that song "Drip." That shit goes hard. I had it on repeat. That song "Be Careful." It's a great song.
Be Careful is a great song. It's a great song.
Actually,
it grew on me. And it grew on me too. I didn't like it at first.
It's that hook. It's that hook in that track.
I mean, it took it straight from Lauren. Yeah. So basically, once I figured that out,
but it's a great song.
That's what I like.
So again, I'm a fair man. I'm definitely more about the music, and we'll tie this up in a bun to more so just say that Cardi obviously has a place within the particular culture right now. Whether Al agrees with the flow of it or anything like that as well, but we're gonna let him have it. But again, like I said, I if one thing, regardless of my opinion, I will say I'm about the music, and the music was sonically better than I thought it was going to be.
Same.
Terms of that.
I think that's what a lot of people are just surprised by, because this could very easily be a conversation about like, damn, that Cardi shit was trash, yo.
I really thought that Yellow was a fluke.
It could have very much been trash.
She had lightning in a bottle with that one track, and that there's no way the album could measure up.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
in that way, the lowered bar is working to her advantage. I mean,
they were like, "Hey, we thought you were gonna suck."
Low.
Yeah, like, we thought you were really gonna suck.
Okay, I'll just play it whenever.
I just wonder, do I feel like the bar is low? I mean, because here's the thing: I am a musician, and I live in LA, and I deal with musicians I still deal with professional musicians who are out there.
You are a professional musician, sir.
No, I'm not right now. But that's okay. I'm doing it for the love, and that's okay too. But I do know people that are still out there, heavily involved in the licensing business and out there moving songs and that kind of thing. And it is incredibly difficult to make something that people will listen to over and over again. It is so fucking hard.
As an actor person, even the bad actors you see on TV are actually working really hard. Like, you still have to sometimes get there at 5. You have to hit your mark. You have to you know what I mean? Like, you still have to deliver.
Yeah,
right.
Over and over. And it's a consistency and a professionalism work, because money is involved, that can't really ever be overstated. And I'm sure that's also true for the music industry.
100%. It's like anything professional. Anything at a professional level.
So once you're at that level, then we have the spectrum of
which is why I never really
to your point, that's when, she's definitely on the lower end, she's working. And that makes me wonder, I still have doubts that she will have multiple albums to this wonderful success.
I think that this will be one of very few. Yeah, she got her. She's gonna move on. She's gonna move on to do other stuff, modeling, acting. Yeah, I don't think that the record business is long for Cardi. I think that she'll be a moment. She's more of a personality entertainer.
Well, did you see the interview? Did you see the interview
on the show?
But even in the interview, man, where she's with Ebro on, she's very self-aware. She's like, I don't know when this is going to end. This could be the last record, and I don't think that's really a commentary on Cardi B. I think that's a commentary on the music industry right now.
Totally agree. No, she knows. Yeah. She knows that this is a season that she's in, and right now this is her season. And for that, capitalize, get that bag, do what you got to do, and
honestly, I think that's
stretch that 15 minutes out.
She mastered. She has like her PhD in hustling from the strip club. So just like, let's say you worked your 8-hour shift, but then a big party comes in and your manager says it's okay for you to stay, you about to work another 8 hours. You about to work harder in the next 6 than you did the first 8, because you will make your money and then you can chill. So that's why I just feel like she is putting in that work where she's like, I'll sleep later. I'll do all these other things. I'll text you back.
We're going to leave it right there that Cardi has secured the bag and is doing a thing. We will see what happens.
Congrats
we will
on
see.
Congrats
on the pregnancy, on the new record. Yes.
That's a whole nother level.
Cardi, I know you listen to the podcast, so just, appreciate you.
I know, right? Now,
come through.
But hey, if you do, congratulations Cardi, on your success. We'll see how it goes.
I know you do, Cardi.
We love you. We support you, girl.
They love you and they support you, girl.
That's right.
They love
That's right. 2/3 of this podcast.
Rhapsody, I'm looking for you, girl. Rhapsody, hold your head, girl. I feel your energy. It's going through. Go ahead, Rap. All right,
I get what you're saying about that, though, because I feel like there have been R&B artists where I'm like, damn, why isn't she a bigger deal? Like Jasmine Sullivan.
Jasmine Sullivan is a perfect. She is a perfect example. I love Jasmine Sullivan. You can just put on lions, tigers, and bears and just tell people shut up and just listen.
I was just gonna say, have you ever seen a child sing like that?
No.
You know what I mean? Sing that song.
That video was great, too.
And then for her to have a label, a record deal, and it's not like the biggest thing ever. I'm like, she should be selling everything out.
Trying to tell you, I love Jasmine Sullivan. That is a great example.
So good. Yeah, no, she's fantastic.
All right, let's wrap that up. Let's wrap this last one. Okay, that one's good. All right, this last one here is a little bit deeper here, but we saved the deepest for last on this one. The godlessness of guns. Me and Yazzie, of course, had a variety of experiences as it relates to that. He's had his situation with his family. When I was 5, I had the unfortunate experience of being right next to my cousin as he was shot. So we've had lots of Facebook discussions about it. As of recently, Yaze's friend on Facebook was annoying him and me by going back on and on for like days on that topic. I'm just like, dude, I'm gonna need you to let this go.
He was in on it too.
I was on the thread because I was like, dude, I need you, because of course, you know, I was trying to get him to kind of chill, because it's like I just don't think he understood the depth of this situation, and kind of like, you're not going to change my mind, you're not going to sway me. Anyway, I figured on our last segment here, as we kind of get a dip into at least the spiritual aspects of this real quick, the godlessness of guns. For a society that has a Christian majority and was looked at to be founded on a lot of those principles, we've really seemed to love killing each other in this particular society, preferably using very big guns that take out more than one person. So I wanted to dive into this quickly, of course, the psyche of our society, and talk about the hypocrisy and the love affair that this country seems to have with firearms. I wanted to explore kind of the layers of compassion that their Christ preached within the scriptures, and just let me know at what point did he talk about automatic weapons being used to resolve conflict. Like, how would Christ feel about the shoot first and pray later kind of attitude that we seem to adopt as a country? So that's kind of where we are right now. The godlessness of guns. Let's talk about it from a spiritual perspective. In this particular country, we're always talking Christian this, Jesus that. People are very quick to put their religion, their faith, they wear it on their sleeve. They're always having discussions about it. They shove it down your throat. But these are also the same people that will definitely shoot and ask questions later.
Bang.
What do you think about that?
No, I love the way you frame that, man, because I think that gets down to the core of it. Jesus was the Messiah that said, turn the other cheek.
And we ain't turning shit.
We ain't turning shit. We cocking back. You know what I mean? And America is the land of Rambo, you know? So it's like these two gods are always at odds, you know, sort of the Old Testament fire and brimstone, eye for an eye. I think for me it always, you know, obviously my brother was murdered with a handgun, and that's kind of fetishistic when I put it that way. It's like he could have been murdered with anything. Right now they're having this freak out. The conservatives, I hate saying the conservatives, but the conservatives are having a freak out about London because of the last 2 months they've had a higher murder rate than I guess we have in America.
Sure.
Knives, you know, they stab each other over there because they have better gun laws, so they stab each other, right? Yeah. And so the conservatives are all talking about like, well, see, there you go. You take away guns and people that kill each other with knives. You take away knives and kill each other with stones. And I'm like, see, you're missing the point.
Right.
The point is that we are sick. That something in us is broken enough that we feel like we have to hurt each other. And if we are all broken in the same way, then why do you give a sick person the most efficient way to kill a motherfucker?
Themselves. Exactly. I totally agree.
Yeah, you know I mean, that's basically my stance in a nutshell, is that the fact that you feel scared enough of other human beings that you need to shoot them, or the fact that your society is sick enough that you got to prey on other human beings with a pistol in order for you to be, you know, in order for you to feed yourself and your family. I'm like, all of these things are expressions and manifestation of pathology. So like, why are we not attacking the pathology instead of defending the goddamn penicillin?
Totally agree.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Totally. I couldn't agree with you more, sir. I couldn't agree with you more. And it's a thing where people continue to it's like there's no compromise. It's like you've got the gun zealots who basically hear gun regulation or gun reform and automatically they're like, you're not going to take my guns. You ain't going to do it. And I'm going, wait a minute. There's got to be layers of compromise that we can reach in order to try to save lives. I don't want your guns. Keep your damn guns. It's not my way of doing business. It's not something that's in my life. But you know what? Do you keep your guns? But can we try to prevent that man over there who wants to do harm from having guns? And I'm going, I don't understand. Maybe I'm not communicating it right. Maybe our lawmakers are communicating it right. Maybe our children are communicating it right. But I'm not understanding how this is a hard concept to grasp. Like, let's try to make things better for the other people that don't get it. And then people will go, well, they're going to have it anyway. I'm like, okay, so what you're saying to me, and this is me and Treese were talking about this, and I'll let you jump in here, Mel or whoever. What basically is saying, here's the conversation we're having. We're going to America, or American citizens are going, we have a gun crisis. We really need to look into that. What are we going to do? And Americans are going, shoot back.
That's right. That's exactly what yeah, you're right. Is that exactly right? Shoot back. I think that whenever people are presented with the same data and they come to different conclusions, I think that that's a matter of differing principles, right? Because we're all examining the same facts, but we come to different conclusions. So that must mean we're using a different way to add up this shit. And I think the people that are pro-gun are basically making, if I could just jump to that, I think they're making a decision at the very end of the day that they are more important than somebody else.
Yep. I agree.
That's it.
I'm not gonna relinquish my freedoms. I'm not gonna be inconvenienced just because y'all don't know how to act. Come to my house.
Yeah.
And it's stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Or from their perspective, maybe even I try to be sympathetic, is that they feel like I live in a world where bad motherfuckers have guns and they can take things or do things to me with their gun that I will not be able to stop them from doing unless I have this power to even the playing field, even against all the data and all of the evidence that shows, no, you in fact merely owning a gun does not transform you into Liam Neeson. It doesn't happen that way.
It does not.
Movie.
Right, it does not.
Liam Neeson in a fucking Hollywood production.
It doesn't work that way. Like
not even real.
The gun does not transfer magical properties to you just by touching it. You don't become more talented, skilled. You know what I'm saying?
In that sense, I feel like maybe particularly outside of big cities, and so they have that space and they feel like this is everyone else living in cities or a little bit more urban settings see how much human beings interact with one another on a daily basis.
Right.
So we do need some overarching laws and mores about the culture, about how we're going to treat each other, because we're not all living isolated.
Nah, totally. I could not agree. And again, I always tell people, I get it. I don't have, hell, it's to the point where, and I guess at some point in time, the way society is progressing, I'm going to have to make a decision. I'm either have to buy a bulletproof vest or a gun, or maybe one of the two. You know, and that's a choice I don't really want to make. I'm not really into that type of thing. Don't get me wrong. If faced with something, you know, that was a threat to me or my family, I would not hesitate to do anything and then go back to eating dinner like nothing happened.
But hey, can I, not to interrupt, sorry to cut you off, but I got to, because just that, right? That is the crux of it. Is that, spiritually speaking, this is a spiritual conversation, is that we're always projecting ourselves to a moment that is not happening.
Yeah, indeed.
We are always, that's how they win the argument every time, because you were talking about my man, my homie, I won't speak his name because it's not in a positive context right now, but the homie on Facebook that kept, writing me these 3-paragraph screeds on freedom and why he doesn't deserve to be inconvenienced because of the acts of murderers and all this kind of stuff. And I keep coming back to him and I'm like, everything you're saying in principle I agree with, bruh. I don't know, I don't see how it relates to what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because what I'm saying is that I think that killing people is bad. Hurting people with guns is bad. Surely you don't disagree with what I'm saying. So
right.
What are you saying? You know what I mean? Like,
I have to defend it. I have to. It's because I think you made a great
tied
point.
It so much to their own self-worth.
Yeah, that's a great point.
The things that they do, and they're so removed from realizing that it's not what you do, it's who you are.
Well, and also they're also
you are not necessarily just the things that you do.
And keeping with my theme of this time thing is that they're also projecting themselves to this moment that isn't happening.
Yeah, that's an
They're
excellent
taking
point,
my
right?
guns.
Yes.
They're literally
Right.
every time they try to have the conversation, they keep projecting themselves to this place where masked vigilantes, I guess, are taking their guns and raping their wives. I don't know what the fuck is happening in this fantasy.
Gang or a pack of niggers that have been on
Right.
the loose ever since
Thank
Mel
you.
Gibson
You
told
said
us
it.
about it.
You
He
said it,
tried
yeah.
to warn us that there was a gang or a
Or now
gaggle
Mexicans,
of them
or now
all
Mexicans,
out there just
or wherever the fuck
attacking
they are,
people.
you know, yeah. Like
No, I
somebody
think
is
that you're
coming in
right.
there.
I think you're right, though. I really
Right.
think you have an excellent point. We're always preparing for a war that may or may not happen, or preparing for a robbery or something that may or may not happen. And I think that speaks to our society. And I think that you started off by saying that is a sickness. And I think the time has come for
Mental illness.
us to really realize that we do have that type of society. So again, it kind of comes back to the question, just to tie this up in a bow, of you get to the point where all of us at some point are going to have to make a choice. We're either going to have to join the Romans of revolvers and automatic weapons and arm ourselves with their insecurities, or we figure something out. So it sucks.
I think that I agree, and I think the thing to figure out is ourselves. It's not. I agree with my I agree with my human opponents in saying that it is not the guns that I think will change. I don't think if I take the gun that someone will not harm
Right.
with a knife, or that they won't harm with a stone. That is not my point. My point is that the root sickness that causes a person to feel like they need a weapon to harm or defend themselves against another human being is capable of. That is the mental illness. But until such a time that we cure this disease in all of its forms, we should not be running around with motherfucking guns.
Totally
Well,
agree.
and especially
Totally
like
agree.
assault fucking rifles. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing where
We have to do it
there's
big.
no room for discussion. They listen to their own news. You know, everyone's preaching to their own choirs, and they insist that we don't want to have a reasonable discussion. They're constantly telling them that we want to take all of it away. We want to enact Sharia law. I mean, it's extreme. Sometimes I go down the rabbit hole and I click on these links and I listen to these segments, and they're not
It'll
just
anger you.
like reporting some news with a conservative slant. Like they are
No.
full on making up
Yeah.
the most outlandish shit
Yes.
that another party could say they would put forth. And I'm sure there is some liberal equivalent. What would they say? MSNBC or whatever. The point is, so for me, it seems like so many people on the quote-unquote progressive side are being somewhat critical of all the media that they
Yes,
take
they
in.
are, yeah.
Whereas, and there are always exceptions, but I get the sense in conversations, and maybe it's, again, the media, how they're showing it, but all the things, when you look at all the puzzle pieces, a lot of people on the other side are not being as critical. Like, they don't want to hear all of that.
No.
They have decided only one or two avenues is the truth, the church, and this particular channel, or this particular outlet, or this particular organization that allows me to basically do what the fuck I want. My dad did, and my granddad did.
Yeah.
And you're like, so none of this other stuff is even like relevant to you in any way?
I mean, because we got to really acknowledge the incredible power of implicit bias in this and unconscious bias in this shit. Is that we pick we don't shop for lives like we do cars and compare all the fucking features and whatnot. We don't have that opportunity. We're just born into a life, right? And then at some point we may get self-reflective and go like, who am I? But we're not going to change. No, nobody has the opportunity in the span of a life to really change. And it's once in a lifetime shit. Most of the time what you do is you take the shortcuts that you've been taught your whole life to make yourself feel comfortable in the world, and you fucking go about your business. You know what I mean? Because to unpack that shit and to really look at all of the things that are making your whole shit possible, it's uncomfortable and messy and stinky and nasty. And that's exactly why white people don't want to unpack racism. It's exactly why men don't want to unpack fucking sexism. We don't want this shit we don't know what that's holding in. You know what I mean? Like,
what's on the other side? That's terrifying.
What is it?
Totally
Legitimately
with you.
terrifying.
And it all comes.
So
it all kind of comes back down to, your initial comments, my brother, is it's obvious that our society has an illness as it relates to how they treat each other and how we treat each other as human beings. And we have a lot of work to do, and guns don't seem to be helping in that particular process. So we will continue to explore that, the godlessness that exists within guns. Mel, appreciate you hanging out on the show with us and stuff.
It's been great.
Man. It's been cool. We appreciate everybody for hanging out with us for another episode of We Come From Bad News. Yaze, please tell them where they can find you and what you do and who you are and all that good stuff.
Yes. I am Yaze Vincent. I am father of 2, wife of 1. And you can find me on my other podcast with my lovely co-host and wife, Melissa K. Anderson, Woke with Kids, where we talk about politics, life, love, and parenting occasionally. And I'm at wokewithkids.com and Nyaze, Nyaze on Twitter and Instagram.
All right, good stuff. Before I do that, Mel, tell them where to find you and what you got going on.
Well, I am on Twitter at Melissa K, spelled out K-A-Y.
Nice. And for myself, you can find me on Twitter, Aldiddy1712, ALDIDDY 1712. You can get me on Instagram, Aljohn's October. If you want to check out my A&R pursuits, you can check me out on Team Shaheem. And later on, I'll be kicking back off Fame Analytics. I got some ideas. And of course, you can always find me on Woke with Kids, the Facebook page. I appreciate all your comments and everything going on. Monica, Monique Tullis, she had a great comment on Cardi earlier. I asked her, I put my opinion out about the album and everything like that, and she said something very profound. She said, when it comes to Cardi, fuck her. And so I said, all right, that was very profound. So I told her, her words, not mine. So y'all thought I was going to drop some science on you. I thought I mentioned it because
it was talking to my fans on this page.
That's what it is. So that's why I mentioned the comment, because it was funny. So anyway, this was fun. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Take care. Peace.
Peace.